still moving forward. But we need to be just in our primary election, in our party, in our internal democracy as political party.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Our whole party has, I can tell you, if you look at the lineup of the presidential candidate, I can beat my chest. We have the best and qualified person that's supposed to lead this nation to the promised land. My presidential candidate, High Chief Ambrose Albert Oworo, is a trained British lawyer who knows the rules of this game, that is democratic government. Because democratic government is totally inadequate if there is no stability and economic security of the country. So our party, we have a package, a lot of package in our manifesto that will improve and transform this Nigerian in 2 years. Not like other governments that are misusing the word transformation without corresponding effort and action.
To improve the quality of governance, we have chosen transformation as a keyword that will define what we are going to do, and we are not using it as mere cliche. When we go back and we see what happened where we took off in 1999, we see that the military left this country with a low GDP of 287 billion, absence of free speech, human rights abuses, huge foreign debt, decaying infrastructure, unstable banking sector, disregard for local content in the petroleum sector, and of course, the telecommunication sector was paralyzed, while we also have lack of adequate health policy. We built upon this over the years, but right now, the transformation will now lead to what is beginning to happen. You take the agricultural revolution, you go to the health sector, what is happening there, the sector reforms, you go to the aviation, you go to transportation, what the government is trying to do, and we intend to do much more. Our candidate, the President Goodluck Jonathan, intends to also build upon what has been achieved in the education sector, so that education will be something that will propel, because it is the key to development, and it is the key that liberates the individual from poverty, from lack, and from social injustice. We intend to ensure that that transformation in reality determines and defines what will be done to the Nigerian nation and governance in this country.
Thank you very much. As I said, we are those people, only a party that have a female candidate in this race that we are in now. And by this, we are telling you that together we can make a difference. That is the slogan of our party. Together we make a difference. I believe Professor Oluremi Shonaya is displaying enough to handle the affairs of this nation, ranging from corruption, which resulted to poverty, unemployment, insecurity, and so many other things. The yearning and aspiration of our people now is to get the country safe and peace from all these evil viruses that is happening. And ours first, we will revive and revamp the police department to ensure we have enough police and security so that our people will be safe. Maybe the primary or the cardinal objective of the president is to ensure that the life and properties of Nigeria is safe. Nobody got killed.
20 seconds.
Neither military personnel, nor policemen. And by doing this, we are going to create a noble environment for investors to come in. And we are going to create a novel environment for youth to look for jobs and to ensure that social services are put into order.
What my party will do is what we've been trying to do and will continue to do. We believe that politics is an opportunity to serve. And we have been focusing attention on issues, issue-based election, issue-based campaigns. Our candidate has been focusing on the need for us to unite this country. And you do not unite when you make provocative speeches, when you make speeches that could divide rather than unite. And of course, someone who is committed towards creating a nation out of the nation state of Nigeria by trying to get Nigerians to transfer allegiance from primordial situations, there are various cleavages, to the nation so that we can all be united as a nation and move our country forward and ensure that Nigerians are treated as Nigerians and nowhere is anybody treated as a second-class citizen.
Well, we are very mindful of the way and manner we present our issue. Maybe you might know that my presidential candidate, she is a linguist. So she must know the way I'm addressing issues. But we are directly tackling issues the way it is. What we are saying in terms of security, we are going to enhance our police system. In terms of education, we are going to provide a quality education to reduce the idea of having a number of universities. I don't think it matters. If you look at the overhead cost of running the office of the vice chancellor, at least if you put them together, I think it will create another department under one university that will improve add the number of admission that you can take to give people quality education. And there are so many issues like this. What we are doing is that the idea is we are going to create a tactical way of addressing issues, and also we are going to be self-disciplined, so that if you are self-disciplined and all those people that you are working together with you must be self-disciplined.
Thank you. First of all, the issue of hate speeches is one that every discerning mind in Nigeria should condemn. It does not develop our politics. It does not even develop us as a country. The security agency has a lot of role to play in this regard. We as political party can only but continue to advise our followers, our members, our candidates across board to continue to moderate their speeches, to continue to stand and stay on issues. But we as UPP cannot control what other political party says. There is a body, a security agency, SSS, the police, that are there that are supposed to. There are certain individuals in Nigeria today who are not even contestants in this election, that has made very provocative statements, and they are working freely. They ought to be invited by relevant security agencies to be contained and cautioned. For us as a political party, we continue to promote and advise our candidates across board to stay and stand on issues. And issues where you make a statement that are going to do this, you are going to tell Nigerians how.
The bone of contention of all this is lack of loving ourselves. Because if you love your neighbor what you love for yourself, all this hate speech will not be entertained. Irrespective of political party, or religious background, tribe, regional, we are all Nigerians. And we don't have any country rather than Nigerian. And if you are making a hate speech, you know, automatically you are instigating other people to either raise alarm of violence or something like that. So if we now turn this, our democracy, into the battle war, at the end of the day, whom are we going to govern? Are we going to govern a war, or are we going to govern a people? So our party is in the position of house-to-house campaign. We are preaching a word, peace. Love your neighbor what you love for yourself.
20 seconds.
For us to, as a political party, United Progressive Party, to internalize leadership by example, is to make sure that our leaders, those that are on top of the hierarchy of administration in Nigeria, begin to carry themselves in a very responsible and accountable manner. For instance, we have as a program in United Progressive Party to make it compulsory for all public servants to declare their assets, and it shall be reviewed every year, annually. That is leadership by example. And when the man at the helm of affairs does that, it trickles down the line, including the chairman of local government, will be quick to declare his own assets. The other way to do that is when people begin to do what they are supposed to do as people in power, they should not be deceiving Nigerians. I say this because legislators are going around now campaigning that are going to provide roads, they are going to provide electricity, instead of promising Nigerians the kind of legislation they are going to bring to bear that will change their attitude to, they will change their life in Nigeria. So our own is that the head, when the head got rotted, it flows down. Therefore, the responsibility is on the leadership to continue to provide leadership by example.
Our party, that is our first agenda. We are going to entrench constitutional democracy and the rule of law to have a stable civil society. No, that is why I say Hope Party is the luckiest party, because we have a constitutional and a British trained lawyer. And Hope Democratic Party, any position that you are occupying or elected to be, you are still a member of political party. You are not a leader of that political party as the other political party as in Nigeria, because that is why even kill down our democracy. If you are elected into the office, you now become the leader of the political party. You are not answerable to the political party. It's now the political party that is answerable to you. But in our own manifesto and the ideology of our party, it's not like that. Each leader, even though you are the president of Nigeria, you are still answerable to Hope Democratic Party. You are still under the control of the chairman of the party. So you can't go, you can't forge ahead and do, undo to control the party. It's now party has control over you, because that is what even demolishing our political system. If a person elected into the office, he now become automatically leader of the party. So party has nothing to say or has nothing to do. Whatever he is doing, nobody can call him back.
There are all categories of leaders. And leadership, by example, I will restrict myself to a particular area. The presidential candidate of the PDP is someone who believes in the rule of law and due process. He is showing leadership by example by the way he has handled quite a number of issues. Take, for instance, when issues are decided in court, some decisions have been taken requiring that the implementation will even be against his party, such as when some people go to court, they win either governorship or senatorial House of Rep elections. His position is that the court decision must be implemented, and that because of his belief in due process and the rule of law, there is nothing that will make him want to influence it. He stands by it, and he does everything to facilitate the implementation of such. That is leadership by example. Not merely mouthing, not merely proclaiming his
20
belief
seconds more.
in due process and the rule of law, but making sure that that is put into practice and that he encourages the practice of due process and the rule of law. That is just one example. There are several others which time will not permit. Thank you very much.
I know, I believe that all of us knows that female were trained to show leadership by example, even at home. So my presidential candidate, Professor Mrs. Comfort Oleremi Shonaya, being a woman, she is quite fully aware that she has to lead people by example. And by doing this, we are going to institutionalize our system to take over control than the personality that is controlling the system. And, we are going to ensure that we allow the rule of law to prevail in the day-to-day running of our activities. We will also ensure that the anti-corruption institution were allowed to work without fear or favor, without any interruption from the presidency or so. We must ensure that we adjust to each and everybody. And by doing this, we are going to show leadership by example to our people.
Our party stands for, like the name implies, hope. Hope is hope for the new Nigeria. And we have a lot of programs which are all free for Nigeria. Let me start by education. If you look at educational system in our country, it's only those that can train their children from primary to the institution level. If Hope is elected into power, we promise Nigerian education from primary school to the tertiary institution will be free for all Nigerians. And if you look at the issue of unemployment, our party is now in the position to revolutionize the whole sector in order to create more job opportunities for our youth, because all the cause of this violent other things is lack of employment.
The theme of our campaign, presidential campaign under our presidential candidate, Chief Chikwasokore, PhD, is revolutionary leadership. We are aware that most of the revolutionary policies we intend to carry out are not protected under Nigerian law. So first of all, it's not enough, like my brother rightly pointed out, to say you are going to do this for the less privileged in the society that are not taken care of, cut across the old women, the children that are hawking on the streets, the unemployed youth, without enabling law that will make it possible. So first of all, we are going to pursue the amendment of law to make sure. It is unfortunate that in the whole of Nigeria, there is no very good center that take care of the aged people. It is a crime against humanity to see our retirees queue, some of them stranded on the road, suffering, to get the entitlement out of their sweats, having served this country diligently. We are not going to tolerate that because our policy is going to pursue such aggressively. We are going to provide incentives that will make it attractive for underage little children that are running away from school to go to school. I want to associate myself with some of the state governments. Our party associates with some of the state governments that are providing incentives such as lunch and certain incentives to encourage little children to come to school. So we are going to make sure, first of all, that there is an enabling law to take care of all this cadre of persons in the society to make it feasible.
in Nigeria, we are full of policy planning and policy making, but we are not good in implementing the policy and the program that we design. And this is what has happened with the system of education. If you remember, we have so many revised versions of policy of education, and so many revises of the program of food security, and so on and so forth. So there are so many issues that need to be addressed, and that's why the idea of organizing a constitutional conference came up, because there are so many loopholes within the constitution and within the framework of the activities of our governance as a nation that we need to reconsider and we need to address. And all this program and plans goes back to the reference room. So we are going to ensure that we implement all design plans and programs that has to do with the socio-economic program of this nation.
20 seconds.
Since from the inception of this nation up to now, we are going to review this in 1 year, and we must ensure that we provide a solution to act on them.
Thank you for your time, and indeed thank you for your contributions, representatives of the COA party, PDP, HOPE, and UPP. Well, at this point in time, we invite the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the NEDG, Mr. Shola Omole, to please come to the podium and make the presentations of the certificates of participation. We also like to invite Arewa Taiwo Alimi to please join him.
Let me now, on behalf of NEDG, present these certificates of participation to the representatives of the parties here. I'll start with the COA party.